Welcome back to the Beardy and the Baldy channel. I'm bringing you a slightly delayed Beardy's books for Wednesday, November. Um, what was it? November. uh, let's see. Today's Friday. It's the 19th. So the 17th. November 17th. Sorry about that. Uh, so this week I got 8 books to go through. The first one is part of the new Marvel Now, Thanos #1. Um, it's from Jeff Lemire, Mike Diodato. It's great artwork, good storytelling. It's probably not a series I'm going to continue reading, just because I can't read everything. But if you like Thanos and you like the stuff they've been doing Thanos with the last couple of years, and like the graphic novel, the hardcover collections they've been doing, you definitely want to check this out. If Thanos is your guy, this is your book. I've never been, I think I said before, a huge fan of the villains themselves, but I am trying out, all the all new, all different, and the Marvel Now #1. So there it is, Uncanny X-Men Annual #1 for this current volume. Is a pretty good book. I actually really enjoyed it. Cullen Bunn wrote it. It's you know all sorts of crazy stuff going on in here. It's really cool. It's dealing with was it Elixir, one of the X-Men, the mutant healers, and they're trying to figure out what's going on with him. He was in the regular Uncanny series, and it's just him struggling. And I really enjoyed that story. I'm trying to remember, was there there was a cool backup story with Domino that was pretty cool. So this was actually really good. It's not necessarily important to read for the current continuity, but it does fit into the continuity and is definitely a good annual for that book. Next up, Green Arrow 11. Looks like we finally get to conclude this Murder on the Empire Express story arc that's been going on. I believe it was finished up. Yeah, it definitely wrapped up and sets thing up for a new story arc. So this was again a great Green Arrow issue. Really enjoying this book. I know I keep saying that every time I get it. The rotating art team and is great, and the storyteller, the writer rather. I can never find the names in the DC books because they're never in the same place. I guess it's on the last page here. Benjamin Percy, sorry. He's been telling some great stories. These are some great issues with the artwork in here is very cinematic, and it would be very cool to see that in a movie or a show, I guess. If this would be probably work out really well on the TV show. I don't really watch that show, but I do like this comic, and the story they've just done was pretty cool, and would be very cool to see, like I said, in a movie or show. It's very high action, big impact with the it's basically like a bullet train under the ocean and stuff going on. So that was really cool. Next up is part 2 of Enemy of the State in All New Wolverine issue #14. It's a little dark. I reconfigured my setup so my lighting's not as good as it used to be. I might have to tweak that a little bit, but this picks up where the last issue left off, where Laura had attacked and allegedly or apparently murdered an entire town because someone sent like a trigger pheromone into the town when she was there, and it's following her, and it's setting her up for a meeting or reunion of sorts, potentially in the next issue with an old character that we've not seen for some time. So that was really good. And next up is Superman. We're getting into my final 4 here for the week. Is Superman issue 11. It's the part 2 of the what is it, In the Name of the Father, where Robin, Damian and John are kind of in the boot camp that Batman and Superman have put together for them to kind of teach them how to use their powers and work together. And it's actually a really fun issue. Again, between the writers and the artisans and creative team on here, I'm really enjoying this book. So Superman is continuing to deliver book after book, every couple weeks is just a knockout. Speaking of knockouts, the killer third issue of Lady Killer from Joelle Jones. I mean, if that isn't one of the coolest, trippiest covers I've probably had on my reviews here, I don't know what is. That's really cool. I really love this design, and I love the simple color. I don't know if my lighting's allowed, but she's got the green eyes going on in there between the stark black and white and red cover. It was really fun. Joelle Jones's covers have been really good on the Mockingbird series, and her art and storytelling in this is just fantastic. So yeah, here we got some Christmas going on, but again, this is the assassin for hire housewife story. She's continuing to figure out how she works on her own, and it was just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. There's some twists and things going on in here that are complicating her life once again. So yeah, Joelle Jones does another great issue of Lady Killer number 3, or Lady Killer Volume 2, number 3. So check that out. If you have not read any of this, I cannot recommend Volume 1 enough. It's really good, really sets up this world, and it's a lot of fun and just stellar artwork. Next up is Trinity, issue 3. It is the Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman book. This is actually really shaping up to be a fantastic series. Between the creative team, again, artist and writer, DC has been really knocking it out of the park with Rebirth. And it's unfortunate, with the limitations people have, I cannot read all of them and get all of them, but Trinity, again, is just really, really doing well. I mean, so the first 2 issues were kind of bringing everybody together. The first issue, or issue 2, was kind of a Superman retrospective. This is kind of a Batman retrospective, but check this out. Look at that. Whoops. The artwork in this book is just fantastic. It's great. And then, there's some crazy stuff going on in here, and they've revealed at the end of issue 2 who's kind of behind all this. There's a little bit more. I won't spoil it if you haven't read it yet, if I didn't already spoil it in the last review. But it's really interesting to see how they're using that character with their powers and what they're doing. Really making them a legitimate threat to the big 3, as it were. It's just really cool seeing them on that level with their powers. So up next, and finally for the week, is Aquaman issue 11. It's the kind of wrapping up the story that's been going on with Aquaman and Mara being in the Tower of Widowhood and all of that, seeing to approve her for marriage and everything. And it's great, just seeing. I love how everyone just always kind of freaks out when Aquaman shows up, or excuse me, Mara. I just read the panel and said Aquaman down here, but whenever she just shows up, it's almost as impressive for everyone as seeing Aquaman himself. So I really like that. Again, you've got Merc and some of the other Atlanteans and different story, and then we get the whole threat that Nemo is starting to present, and Black Manta going forward for where all this is going to go. And of course, as it's becoming a little bit redundant, where every time Aquaman seems to kind of clear his name, it's almost immediately tarnished. Like, he can never get out of it. And they are continuing that. That just seems to be a little bit... I'm getting a little bit worn out with that concept. I still like what they're doing with the characters and the interplay and the growth of the characters, but like the threats seem to be constantly the same at this point in time. And maybe it's just building to something. I don't know, but I do still like it. It is the number 1 pick for me this week. So there it is. My kind of belabored. Apologize if I'm kind of slow and not as energetic as usual. I'm really tired. But there it is, my rundown of Beardy's books for November 17th, 2016. Next week is there's going to be some more good stuff next week, right before, right before Thanksgiving. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, uh, if you do not celebrate Thanksgiving, if you're living somewhere they don't do it, just take time to really enjoy your friends and family and loved ones on well, every day, of course, but next Thursday. Um, if you are not an American and you do not celebrate Thanksgiving on Thursday, I invite all of you to join us in that adventure of just being grateful for what we have, taking care of each other, and just enjoying each other's company and all that. So, anyway, I'm getting all sentimental and whatnot, but that's it for Beardy's Books this week. I will be back next Wednesday. I'm not even going to try to guess what date it is because my calendar is so off inside my brain. And stay tuned. I'll be doing my review for countdown number 8 of my top 13 movies, and which I did last week, but I didn't get to upload it. And I will also be doing my number 7 this week. So stay tuned for some more movie reviews. I'll probably try to get movie reviews for Doctor Strange and The Arrival, or Arrival, I guess is just what it's called, if I can get those in, and possibly Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them if I get to see them this weekend. So there'll be a ton of reviews and countdowns and whatnots going on over the next couple days. So I'll catch y'all later. Have a great time. Night, day, whatever it is. Just be. Peace.